Today we've got a double dose of drinks, inspired by the Bat Serum and Genetic Sunblock from Gremlins 2. The Bat Serum is really just a dark and stormy because, bats, so you'll need dark spiced rum, lime juice, ginger beer, and black food coloring. For the Genetic Sunblock, you'll just need a little coconut rum and blue curacao. In your container, add a bit of black food coloring, 2 ounces of your dark spiced rum of choice, a ½ ounce of lime juice, and top that off with about 4 ounces of ginger beer. For the Genetic Sunblock shot, combine a drop of blue curacao with some coconut rum. You can drink this one straight as a shot or combine it with your Bat Serum. Either way, enjoy. Cheers! Of course, to go with these drinks, we finally have the Neca Bat Gremlin. I missed out on it when it was first released in 2016, but luckily, Neca re-released it in 2023 where I picked it up on Big Bad Toy Store for 46 bucks. Now, it retailed for 50, but I went with their substandard grade option, hence the damaged package. As long as the figure inside is fine, I'm happy to save a few bucks. And the figure inside is fine. I love the sculpt, but there are some things about the execution which could just be my copy and come down to quality control that bug me. So I'm gonna get those out of the way first. The bendy wire, at least in my copy, does not work. First, I thought there was no wire at all, but I can see it inside those little, bendy wire holes. The wires here are too weak to overcome the thickness of the material of the wings. You can bend them, but they go right back to their out-of-the-box position. It's possible that I can rubber band these all up for a few months or do the hot water trick to help them stay in a new position, but I shouldn't have to, My next gripe is about the rest of the wing articulation. They're attached on some kind of hinge, but instead of being able to go up and down with any significant flapping motion like one would expect, they're better at twisting, which is 1, weird, and 2, totally useless because the rest of the wing is glued in place, and if you twist it too far, you'll break it, like I did. I had to glue it back in place. Now, it's not the end of the world because the wings don't actually look bad when displayed on the shelf, you just lose a lot of that playability and posing options. But here's my final gripe, the base situation is garbage. It comes with a little plastic flight stand that's supposed to clip around the belly, but mine broke and we'll get back to that. There's no articulation at the base. Obviously, a solid base is going to be the most stable since you don't have to deal with any potential loose joints collapsing under the weight of the figure, but because the wings are permanently folded backwards, it's pretty back heavy and unstable and there's no way to adjust the base to compensate for this, so even on the base, it kept falling backwards. It's glued back together here and it's working for now, but who knows how many more times it'll crack and I'll have to glue it. Now, the feet do have holes, so it can be attached to a Neca base. The bases are sold separately, but I've found mine to be more stable on one of these. My recommendation, if you have the space and the skills, is to hang this guy from the ceiling or something like that, because he looks great, and ultimately, that's what I want the most here. Of course, I'm in for the paint, despite it being more red and brown and tan here as opposed to more gray in the film, and the awesome detail, and I'm super happy with this head sculpt. I also love the fact that the ears are not only on a hinge, but can cover the face just like in the film. For the rest of the articulation, you have a couple of nice ball joints at the base of the neck and head so he can look any which way, an opening and closing lower jaw, ball joints at both shoulders, a hinge and swivel at the elbows, and ball joints at the wrists, but not a lot of clearance. It's got joints in the hips, hinge and swivel at the knees, and again, ball joint at the ankles with not a lot of clearance. With a maximum length of 7.5 inches with feet outstretched and a maximum wingspan of around 19 inches, this guy definitely takes up some space on a shelf. Now, scaling here is a little interesting. In the film, when the Bat Gremlin and Brain Gremlin puppets were standing next to each other, the Bat Gremlin appeared to be a little larger. Later in the scene, when the puppet is swapped out for the stop-motion model, it's smaller than the Brain Gremlin, which is more of what we see here in the figures. If they ever re-release this guy with better wing articulation, I might actually grab it and then cover this guy with a few layers of primer so it can be the gargoyle statue. In the meantime, good luck on your figure hunt, thanks for watching, and always drink responsibly.